Good evening, guys, and welcome back to another video. It is Tuesday after the long weekend. I hope you all had a great Easter with your families, self-isolating. I hope you guys are all staying safe. Tonight, I am going to be joined by my best friend over FaceTime, Jordan, and we are going to be doing the Truth or Drink Challenge. All right, guys, so we are now joined by Jordan. We just did a video on her channel as well. Her questions were a little bit more reserved, so we're gonna get into the juicy questions on here because let's just be real, that's who I am. So I am gonna be linking her video down below. Go subscribe if you guys haven't checked her out. Watch her videos. We make very similar content. She makes a lot more vlogs than I do, and I will link her Instagram there as well. But we are gonna be asking each other questions. If we do not feel like answering, we have to take a drink. So we will get right into it. So first question I am going to ask is, why did your last relationship end?
My last long-term relationship ended because it was long distance, shitty communication, and we just had a lot of baggage in history, I'd say.
Fair. I would say mine ended because my ex forgot that you don't sleep with half of the city when you have a girlfriend.
Cheers to that.
So I'm going to drink anyways because that's depressing, but yeah. And then I'll ask one more because I have a few extra.
Yeah.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
No, I think when I was younger, I would definitely like get bored and like talk to other people, but yeah, that's about it.
I'm gonna say yes. Not intentionally, but I didn't stop it. We were you and I were at a party, and I had probably been flirting with one of my guy friends, which I probably shouldn't have been because I was still dating somebody. It was the end of the relationship. But we were 14 and my guy friend kissed me goodbye, and I didn't exactly tell him to stop, but I didn't continue it.
Right. I think that goes back to just like being bored and not getting the attention that you were getting from the person you were with.
I actually think I was getting too much attention from that person, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From the guy you were with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it was a bit much. Okay, your turn.
Okay. What is the last thing that you texted your boyfriend and you have to show the screen?
I'm gonna drink, obviously.
Mine was, what are you doing? And I said, FaceTiming Riley. And he said, that's great. I said, and we might be indulging in wine. That was it.
That sounds like a normal conversation.
Yeah, yours is probably like, drop your drawers.
No, it's not. It's not quite that exciting, guys, but
okay.
What is your biggest dating red flag?
Do we have to be in a relationship or when you're starting to meet someone?
No, it can be anything. So like either.
No social media. Android.
For real though, guys.
Every guy that's had an Android, I'm sorry if you have an Android and you're offended, but like...
It's the truth.
Yeah. And someone, like when you're just getting to know a guy and you guys are like just starting to get to know each other, when he never like says your name, he always calls you like pet name.
Fair.
I feel like that's a red flag because it's like...
Why aren't you saying my name?
Or like, who else are you sending these to, you know? I'm always like really thinking the worst, but you know.
I would 100% agree on the Android. If any guy I've ever met who has an Android... I'm sorry, it doesn't turn out well. Like something is weird about them, and I flat out tell them. I'm like, oh, you've got an Android, strike one. Like, it's a problem. Fix up get an iPhone. Like
the text bubble went green, not interested.
I'm always like, oh, sis, I was doing so well, and he texts me and it's green. Like, I don't know, strike one. Also, the no social media, I get it. Like, lots of people don't have Facebook, but like the fact that you have no social media, I just think it's odd.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I I guess I don't really think it's a red flag. I just think it's kind of like we're in 2020.
Get with the times.
Not have like Instagram. I don't care if you have it and you don't post. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, but like, why don't you even have it? Like, what do you do? I know that sounds crazy. Like, they might go outside and ride a bike, but like,
I think it's weird.
people do that. And I think we're just speaking from experience. Like, every time I've met a guy or like been interested in a guy who doesn't have social media, they turn out to be a weirdo. So
Totally.
you have no social media, but yet you'll meet me on Bumble. Like,
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, I agree. And then other than those two, since we both said those, I am going to say if he never picks up your phone calls.
Yeah, only text.
Like, why can you only text me? Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you with? Like,
yeah.
You know, and again, that's thinking the worst, but like, if you can never talk to me on the phone or like introduce me to your friends, like make me a part of your life, like, why don't you want to do that?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Totally.
Kate, your turn.
What is something you do drunk but you'll never do sober?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think I just grow a set of cojones when I'm drunk.
I'm like a pretty open book. And like, I'm pretty upfront in general as a person, like even when I'm sober. And I'm pretty like confident, but like,
I think I just like speak my mind more.
yeah, like maybe I'm just a bit more like abrupt. I think maybe I'm a little bit ruder when I'm drunk sometimes. Like if I'm really like, you know, when you're like not interested and you like try and beat around the bush because you're like trying to be nice. I think I'm very like upfront.
You reread your text, you're like, ooh.
I'm like, wow, I was really mean. Or if a guy like hits on me, I'm like, look, I'm not interested. Like, get lost. You know?
Yeah, no, I get
it. What is the most scandalous location you have ever been with someone?
Probably a golf course.
On the golf cart, or was it in the course?
No.
I would say in a doorway downtown. It's not a good time. It's cold. It's not good, but it's definitely
dirty.
Little dirt. It honestly is pretty dirty. Actually, it's gross. What is your longest dry spell?
I don't know. I've kind of been in relationships.
I know.
No, I'll drink.
I'm gonna drink too for that one.
What is the number one thing you'd never want your parents to know about you?
What's in my bedside table?
Really?
Probably.
Not
like, I would be absolutely mortified if my dad opened it.
I don't have drawers in my bedside tables.
Yeah, you don't. I do. Could you imagine Dave opening up my bedside table and being like, whoa!
But Dave is like that dad that would be like, is that a back massager? Like, he's so like...
And I'd have to be like, Dad, put it down! Don't touch that! It doesn't, my mom not so much. Like, honestly, I don't think there's really anything that I wouldn't tell my mom about myself.
Yeah.
But like my dad, for sure, that would probably be it.
For sure.
Yeah. What wouldn't you want your parents to know?
I don't know, because my parents really know the ugly and the good.
Yeah, right? Like
my personal relationship stuff, like, no parent needs to know that.
Yeah.
But like drama and friends and the juicy goss, like my parents know all of it, so.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask one more. What is your biggest turn on?
Turn on?
Yeah.
Probably just like a guy who's confident, like shows you that he's like for you. I don't know. I just think like, especially and I'm sure everyone else has just been with a lot of people who don't make you feel like you're that special at all. So, I don't know, someone that just goes out of their way to consistently show that, like, you're that person for them and everything like that, I feel like it just makes that attraction a lot better.
I agree. I think communication is like huge. That's attractive to me. A guy who can have a conversation without thinking it's an argument. Like if you tell someone how you're feeling and like, you know, you just want them to know, like I said earlier, I'm very upfront and I just want, like, if I'm feeling a certain way, I'm going to tell you like, hey, listen, I don't like when you do that. But I'm not looking for a fight. And I think people who get defensive. So like a guy who can communicate and like have those conversations. And also just like a guy who listens, like the little things, like they remember where you like to eat or like what flavor of vitamin water you like things that are so little and like you wouldn't really think they're a big deal. When really those are the things that like are the most special because you're like, wow, that's really cute. You remembered that.
Yeah, like you cared enough to remember.
Right? Like you obviously were listening to what I said because I think that's probably,
Totally.
Okay, your turn.
I think I asked this earlier, but what is the longest you've gone without showering? I feel like mine's like 3 days. And that's because I was like not access to a shower.
I agree. Like probably like 3 days. But the thing is with me, like I'll go like 6 days, 7 days without washing my hair, but like I have a bath every single day. Like I love a good bath. But like I will leave my hair dirty because I feel like it's actually supposed to be better for your hair. So I'm like trying to train my hair so I don't have to wash it as much.
Yep.
But like, yeah, probably like 3 days without a shower if I couldn't.
Yeah.
I want to know your worst online dating story.
I honestly have had a few.
Yeah, you have.
I think you just like meet. I really met like face to face with not that many people, but I talked to people all the time. The people that I actually like met, we talked about this a little bit on my channel, but you know, just like someone who's so persistent to like see you, asks to take you out so many times, and then you finally are like, okay, like whatever, sure, let's grab a drink, and then they make you pay. I feel like that's kind of like confusing. And like Riley kind of touched on my channel is like, I'm all for the guy doesn't have to pay just because like, you know, that's kind of what society expects. Like I'm totally cool with paying my own way. But when someone's like persistent on never meeting you before and then meets you and is still trying to like, you know, that period where they're like still trying to impress you and you're kind of like, you're still trying to make yourself look a lot better than you really are.
Well, and I mean, like on the first date, like the girl shouldn't pay. And unless like the girl is the one that's like, listen, like I really want to take you out, like, or like
totally
it's their birthday or something. Like if I was like going out with
persistent.
a new guy and like it was his birthday, I'd be like, oh, no, my treat. Like, I'll got it. But like
100%.
And even so, like I find going Dutch really unattractive. Like I would rather a guy pay once and then me pay next time.
100%.
Like keep it even, but like I don't want you to be like, we'll take separate bills. Yeah. Like I just feel like it's kind of like a okay.
The waitress is like,
she's like, ooh, this isn't ending well, sweetie.
Yeah.
Hope you're back on Bumble.
Yeah, literally. And then I think just like guys that sounded really great and you actually think like, I think I met someone really great, and then they just ghost you, or like they just end up being not at all who they like pretended to be. I think that's kind of probably the most common thing that I came across was like I thought I met a guy that was so great, and then like 4 days into it I'm like, oh. And I think that's where a lot of people just end up deleting the app because it's such a waste of time.
Yeah, like people like waste your time. Yeah. I would think I didn't go on quite as many dates. Like I went on a couple, and even before like going on a couple, like talking to guys, I think that is for sure one thing. Like when they like ghost you and I'm like, listen, like it's not like I was telling you I liked you. Like relax. Yeah. Jordan and I, this is one of the questions that we repeated, but I had a guy who was like all about me. We're not sure if Bradley died or what happened to him. He did reactivate his account, so I'm gonna say he didn't die, but he didn't have social media. He had an Android, and the guy fell off the face of the earth. Like, in the middle of a conversation, he sent me paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, telling me he wanted me to come spend the weekend with him, how he's putting all his eggs in one basket, and I remember being like, maybe you should meet me first. And I'm like sending all these things to Jordan, being like, and he was like, no, like, I know this is gonna work. And I was like, okay. And then on a Friday afternoon at 2 p.m., I got a text from him, asked me all these questions, like, you know, paragraph again, said something about Lord of the Rings. I said I didn't like it in my response, which I responded 2 hours later, and I never heard from him again. Like, after sending me paragraphs. And I was like, am I missing something? Like, there was no lead up to, like, why you know when there's, like, normally, like, signs someone would ghost you? Like, there was none of those. It made no sense.
It was weird. And then we saw him online, like, still.
Yeah. And then guys who I feel like are overly confident, like, confidence is one thing, but, like, being overly confident when you, like, think you're, like, the best thing since sliced bread, like, your shit doesn't stink. Like, listen, you're not better than me. I'm not lucky to be in your presence.
Yeah. Like,
you're lucky to be in mine. So, a bitch is picky. And apparently not picky enough because I went out with you, but when they like do that and then they like talk to you after, like they're like sweet and you're like, listen, I'm not interested. And then somehow they like flip it on you and they're like, oh, whatever. And then they like block you and you're like, okay, relax.
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
Again, going back to just waste of time.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
That's probably our worst stories is like, for sure the ghosting. Like, it's just a waste of my time.
Okay, so this is real life right now. So I'm selling stuff on Marketplace, right? And I have an old set of rims because I just sold my car. So I took the nice rims off the car and sold it with the other tires. Anyways, so I put them on Marketplace. And this guy has been messaging me all day about these tires. And I responded being like, listen, I know nothing about tires. Like, you're going to have to go to Google. So he comes back at me literally while we're filming this. Hey, I did a little bit of research and it's just going to cost too much for attachments. He said, thanks a lot for everything. Stay safe and take care. I said, no worries, you too. He literally goes, after your rims sell and COVID-19 is over, can I ask you out?
Probably not. When I have a boyfriend, just buy the rims. Like, if you really wanted to take me on a date, you should have probably bought the rims. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, literally. What does the world come to?
Okay, my last question is, what is the worst thing a partner has ever done to you?
Well, we won't do names. But
you know who you are.
This certainly isn't the worst, but it's pretty bad. So I was dating this guy, and towards the end of our relationship, it was pretty bad, and communication wasn't great, whatever. So I am at his house after Christmas time, so I didn't live near him, so I'd have to stay at his house, and I'm trying not to give a lot away right now. So I stayed at his house, and he decided to go out that night, and I was tired, so I decided to stay home. And he said he was going to be a couple hours, whatever. I didn't really care. I had a bath, went to sleep. And I woke up at I would wake up at 1:30 and he still wasn't home. And I would look at my phone and I was like, oh, whatever, who cares? So he'll be home when he's home. And then it was like, I woke up again at 3 o'clock, nothing. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. 3:30, I fell back to sleep. And I hear high heels walk through the front door. And he, I guess, was so drunk he forgot I was at his house and he brought a girl home. Crickets.
Literally.
Yeah.
I've heard this story and it never gets old. Like, it's like, what? What an absolute show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I can't. I guess I don't get it.
The more embarrassing part is that I totally let it go.
Yeah. Mine is quite the experience. But I was dating this guy for a while and things were serious. and I went to Vegas. So I was dating this guy. I go to Vegas. I am totally faithful to him in Sin City.
In Sin City.
And he cheats on me and gets an STD. And then tries to blame it on me. Which I didn't have it. Just a disclaimer. I'm not lying about that. I had a horrible experience. That's a whole nother story with getting the tests, which everybody should do all the time. But it was another show because the lab screwed everything up. Anywho, I didn't have it. He tried to blame it on me. Ugh.
No.
Yeah, that's my worst dating story. Don't recommend it. It's not fun.
No.
All right, well, that is the end. We're pretty open books. I didn't have to drink that much. I'm going to enjoy this wine anyways after this. But if you guys are new, don't forget to go subscribe. If you have any questions and you want us to do anything, more videos like this together, obviously with this quarantine, we cannot see each other. Leave it down in the comments below. Go follow us both on Instagram. I will link them below, and I will also link Jordan's channel and video that we are about to post as well. So I will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.